You might not know this, but not all whiteboard videos are made the same way. The three most popular approaches are classic hand-drawn, mural style, and computer-drawn. So what's the difference? Well, the classic hand-drawn whiteboard video is the original style. The first thing you need to make one is, you guessed it, a whiteboard and some markers. The whiteboard is set up in a recording studio with a video camera pointed at a 90-degree angle to the board. 4 high-powered LED studio lights shine on the board from different angles. Overlapping light gets rid of any distracting, awkward shadows. Now that the equipment is set up, you can get down to drawing. The artist draws each scene one at a time. That way your video is split up into easy-to-edit clips. Plus, if there are any mistakes, it saves you from having to go back and record the whole thing. It usually takes 1 hour to record 1 minute of video. Once recording is done, the editing team uploads the raw video clips onto The Beast, our $10,000 Mac Pro computer dedicated to nothing but video editing. Then the editing team fires up Final Cut Pro, the same editing software used by Hollywood studios, and matches each clip with the right part of the script. That means speeding up the video about 100 times the speed it was drawn at. Once that's done, it's time to render your 1080p HD video. This is where The Beast earns its keep. Rendering takes a lot of computing power. Something to look for is how consistently the tip of the marker matches up with the line being drawn. It will always connect perfectly in a hand-drawn video because you're watching a real artist make the drawing. The computer-drawn video, which we'll talk more about in a minute, can only imitate the look of a marker drawing a picture, and it can be difficult to get the tip of the virtual pen to line up with what's being drawn on the board. Hand-drawn videos never have this problem since they aren't tricking your eyes, but rather drawing it for real. Since the artist has to come back in the studio for every little change, and the video editor has to speed up the footage 60 times, hand-drawn videos are time-consuming. The other downside is the amount of professional studio equipment and skilled labor required to create a classic hand-drawn video makes it an expensive style to produce. But having a skilled team with a good production manager ensures that the process is streamlined and costs are kept low. One of the ways they accomplish this is by limiting the number of revisions allowed for a particular video. While it may seem like a great idea to be able to make as many changes as you want to the script, storyboard, or the video until you get it perfect, all it actually accomplishes is to slow down the production process, making everything more expensive in the long run. The special extras are not included in a classic hand-drawn video. Things like camera motion and animated elements add extra time to the production process, and the goal with this style of video is to get you the most efficient turnaround possible. But sometimes you need the camera to move sideways or zoom, and that's why we have mural-style whiteboard videos. The mural style is pretty similar to the classic video, but there are a few important differences. In a mural-style video, the whiteboard is usually 4 to 5 times the size and is mounted on the wall instead of a drawing table. Recording on a bigger board means that the artist doesn't have to erase as often and can draw more images for a single scene. This means he can fit your entire video into one big drawing. In order to get this dynamic camera motion, the camera is mounted on a special tripod called a tracking rig, so it can slide side to side. That's where the movie-style panning effect comes from. Since you've got to get rid of body shadows and hand shadows, you need studio lights about 3 times more powerful than the classic hand-drawn. So why go through all the extra hassle? Well, according to the University of Parma's study on mirror neurons, whiteboard videos engage a viewer's brain by activating empathetic neurons, which allow the viewer to feel the same sense of involvement and satisfaction as if they were the one drawing the pictures themselves. This getting involved effect keeps them watching and helps them remember what they saw. But there's another part of our neurology which is also activated by mural-style videos called spatial memory. It turns out that associating an idea or a bit of information with the act of traveling around a space, like a room or a map, is a powerful tool for recalling that information. Dominic O'Brien, who has won the World Memory Championships 8 times in a row, uses this technique to memorize boring, random information. Here's how it works. With a mural-style video, you don't have to erase the board or cut to a different scene when you run out of space. you can just continuously move the camera to the next empty area. By drawing an unbroken stream of images, it helps a viewer's brain to connect the dots and create an easy-to-remember map. Imagine how hard it would be to see the final picture when you're playing Connect the Dots if you had to erase the previous dot before you could draw a line to the next one. The third way to make a whiteboard video is with a special software. There's actually no real whiteboard or studio equipment involved. Even the live artist is replaced with a simulated hand. Instead, everything takes place inside a piece of software. We use one by the company Sparkle called VideoScribe. Here's how it works. All of the pictures are made in advance by the artist using digital drawing software. Then a special path called a vector is mapped onto each picture so that the computer knows the best way to draw it, kind of like those step-by-step drawing instructions you used to draw dinosaurs or horses when you were a kid. Once all the pictures with vectors are ready, the editing team arranges them onto a virtual whiteboard where an animated hand will do all the work normally done by the artist in the studio. Computer-animated whiteboard videos can use a full range of color because there are no shadows cast by the artist's hand, like in a classic or mural video, which can cause distortion. Another benefit of the entire process taking place in the same piece of software is that it's a lot easier to make last-minute edits without needing to go back to the drawing board. Because all of the images already exist as independent digital files, there are many motion and animation effects which can be applied directly in the VideoScribe software. But there are a few problems with this style. The process of programming the vector map, which tells the computer how to draw a picture, is difficult and time-consuming work. Normally, it takes longer than hand-drawing a classic or mural video. If you cut corners and try to speed up the process by doing a poor job at this stage, it results in something we call the magic wand effect. When you don't create a detailed vector map, the animated hand gets out of sync with the drawing, making it look as though the hand is waving across the board, while the image magically appears underneath. The only way to get a computer-animated video to look good is to invest the time it takes to make a good vector map. Computer-animated whiteboard videos can sometimes look a little cold and mechanical. Part of what makes us enjoy the feel of a whiteboard video is the warm, conversational vibe. Too many fancy effects can kill your video. So now you know how each style is made. Which one will be best for your video?